Okay, we're back. Sorry, folks. Buffering out here. The weather's coming in, apparently. Doesn't look anything but a little cloudy right now, but I think the weather's coming in. Woohoo! Thanks, Stinking Tank. Appreciate y'all. Good deal.
Are we back in?
Yeah, we're back in on a different Two Old Farts Take Two is the new title. Oh, man, I tell you what. That's just neater than Skeeter's tweeter. Whew. Okay.
Yeah, let's try this again.
Let's get into the topics
Okay.
that you have, because I don't want to lose them again to this buffering stuff
All right.
before we get into it.
Okay, so in the news, Trump has signed an executive order unleashing the forest management on the LA wildfires.
Ooh.
He met with Gavin Newsom yesterday, and Gavin Newsom just all over him. Taking none of the blame, of course.
Of course not.
Newsom asked for $40 billion in relief funds. The fires actually wound up costing over $275 billion.
Wow.
So, but Trump has assured him that they're going to help him out, restore everything, fill the reservoirs that need refilling, and clean up the forest floors, which was the cause of it in the first place, and go from there. So I'm not a Gavin Newsom fan. I think he's a
greaseball.
He's
That's
an idiot.
just my personal opinion. Why did he let the reservoirs go empty?
Yeah, well, I mean, he drained them.
You're saving a little tiny fish, and you're taking lives and burning billions of dollars in property.
Exactly.
And then those kind of that kind of management is why our taxpayer money has to bail them out. Yeah, Gavin needs to move to Kiev, he said, and bail them out over there. Oh, that's too funny. Hello, Angie, with our cabins in the woods.
All right, there we go.
Thanks for coming in
Angie.
tonight, huh?
Thanks for rejoining.
Yeah, this is Two Old Farts Take Two.
Okay, so Trump signed an executive order. No, he will soon sign an executive order to make English the official language of the U.S.
I think that's funny.
I think it's hilarious. I mean,
I hate it when I dial a number and they say press 1 for English. No, it should be English to start with.
Yeah.
Dadgummit.
They should say press 1 for Spanish.
Yeah. This isn't
or
Mexico. That's why it's called the Gulf of America. And I know I'm going to make a lot of people mad.
That's okay. That's what we're here for.
But I really could give 2 little bits if you don't like it, because you have a right to your opinion, just like I have a right to mine. And I will not degrade you in any way for having your opinion. I welcome it. It just lets me know what's going on in your mind, why you think that way.
Actually, I think it should be called the Gulf of Texas. That's just my opinion.
Gulf of Texas, because we got most of it. And then we'd have Louisiana and Mississippi and everybody mad at us.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Okay, so Trump has ordered about 3,000 more troops to the U.S.-Mexico border, which
3,000.
I think 3,000, which I think is a good thing. They need all the help they can get.
They sure do. You guys, we beat our border patrol to death.
Man, we do.
That
bless those guys.
That last administration just tore them up constantly. And we saw the videos, even though they weren't on every channel. We did get to see the thousands and thousands of people just herding across the border, carrying the flags of their country.
Nation. Yeah.
Why isn't that an invasion?
And coming over here and flipping off the cameras saying,
beating up the cops in groups.
Death to the U.S. Well, why are you coming to the U.S. if you wish us harm? And stay over there. Good Lord.
Well, he said the 3,000 that are coming aren't rookies either.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah, please hit the like button while you're here and the subscribe and the notification bell. Thanks, Heard That. We would really love to have you guys back. And we have the call-in line. It's 469-505-9550. And that way, if you want to call in to the Two Old Farts hotline, then you can give your opinion to everybody that is watching and the ones that'll be watching in the future after this goes off the air.
We're going to rename that. It's the fart line from now on.
The fart line?
Yeah. So call into the fart line. Hey, Tony. Tony and our cabin in the woods is here.
Yes.
So, okay. So moving on. We talked about it a little bit a while ago, but did y'all see the meeting Zelensky is, to me, is just such a crybaby. Oh my!
He's an actor.
Yeah,
he's a comedian. He didn't run. He could have left because they were going to send him a plane and get him out of there to safety. And he told Biden, "No, I don't need planes. I need missiles." So
yeah, well,
give him credit for not running.
Trump is basically telling him the same thing. He said, "We'll." What they did was they struck a deal with him on the mineral rights to Ukraine. So he has promised ever since he was elected to sign the mineral rights over, and I believe to Russia. And then when he backed out of that, that's when Russia invaded. That's not the whole reason, but that's part of it.
Hello, who do I have on the line? Somebody is there, but I can't hear who you are. You've got a control. You've got a voice thing that is blocking your signal. It sounds like. Dink. It sounds like you're a monster, Dink.
Oh, yeah, it's cutting.
Dude, what? Are you there? You're cutting out real bad.
It's not working.
And it sounds like this when you talk. I don't know what that is.
I can't make out what you're saying.
Let's see. He must have hung up. Let's see here.
You calling again?
I don't know. Are you there? Yeah, I hear you. I don't know what the deal is with the connection. How are you tonight?
I'm doing good, maybe because I'm watching you big screen.
I can't make out what you're saying, dude.
Yeah, it sounds like you're in a robot suit.
Okay,
Let me see here.
He said he'd call back.
Okay. Sorry about that, Dink. I don't know what was wrong. Let me see what I can do. If there is anything. No, it's not set to any sound effects or anything. So I don't know.
Can we try this again?
Yeah, there we go.
That is
We
a
can hear
good
you
connection.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.
She had to dial the number.
Oh, okay. Well, something is better.
Sound like you were using a voice enhancement
Yeah,
deal.
sure did. What's up?
It was Tamara's phone, and I don't know what. I'm watching y'all on big screen.
Oh, wow. That's a big, ugly picture you got up there. Man, oh, man.
There's two of them up there.
What?
Yeah, Angie said you were trying to stay undercover. That's what it sounded like. One of those
That's what it sounded like.
Well, I'm on X also. So, yes, I have to.
I got you. You did sound like you were going to ask for a ransom, though. I was a little worried.
Is it okay now, Angie? She said we were buffering a little.
It looks like we're good.
I've been trash talking Zelensky online.
Good for
So,
you.
you
got
know,
a point, though.
An hour before his meeting, they
You gotta
actually talked.
You gotta
him out
alter your voice when going
It's only for your
ham on
safety.
world leaders.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they talked him out of signing the mineral rights deal, and so that's when he went into the meeting with Trump. That's what he went in there about, was that he was not going to sign that deal. So basically, Trump said, "Okay, well, you know, our deal is off the table. Then we're not going to sign a security deal with you or security guarantee. So you're basically on your own. And if you are on your own, you're putting millions of people's lives at risk because you're about to start World War III."
If you walked into the main office of any company that put billions of dollars into your company, even defense, if they put billions of dollars into your defense, don't you think you should at least start off by not wearing a sweatsuit? Go in like you have some respect for the people you're going to go talk to, because they have given you, and when I say they, I'm talking about every taxpayer in the United States has given you billions of dollars.
Exactly.
You could at least show some respect.
And like Vance said, say thank you.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
he said, well, I've said thank you. He hasn't said
Not
thank you to this administration.
Yeah, exactly.
Because this administration could have come in and said, the American people are tired of giving you money.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't know when the war will end, but we keep giving you money and there's no end in sight. So they could have just stopped it right there.
Right.
I wonder, just let me throw this out there for a little chit chat. What if Trump's a showman? What if he organized this? He didn't have to talk to Vance because then it wouldn't look real. What if he set this up so that he would go running to Europe for help, and Europe would step up, hopefully, and take over what they should have taken over to start with, and then Europe come back to Trump with Zelensky and say, here's a deal we can negotiate.
Here's our proposal.
It still keeps Trump in the position of authority and the one in charge, and makes America look good. And it also gets Europe off their tail to where they pitch in and help.
Right.
What do you think about that?
Gentlemen.
Go ahead.
Gentlemen.
Yes.
You there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you hear us?
They're is trying to draw it in under NATO.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
What needs to happen now is President Trump needs to turn around and say, NATO and UN, we're withdrawing from both of you. Fight your own battles on your own.
And that could very well end up happening.
Well, and didn't Trump at one time say that we were going to back out of NATO, or he did back us out of NATO?
Yes. And think of the schoolyard bully.
Yeah.
Schoolyard bully is only tough if he's got his buddies next to him.
That's right.
Exactly right.
Whenever you're overcoming a bully, you just punch him in the nose and walk off. And that's it.
That's right.
And that's what happened with Zelensky. He got punched in the nose and booted out on the steps.
Yeah.
And then he started whining like a little baby.
Yep.
And then Trump went and played golf.
well, and Zelensky is about to find out what Nicolae Ceausescu found out in 1989.
Which is what?
Remember the Romanian Revolution, where Nicolae Ceausescu and Elena Ceausescu had ran their nation into the ground with all sorts of stuff? They were agitating towards Gorbachev. Gorbachev was sick of Ceausescu. And all of a sudden, Christmas Day, 1989, Nicolae and Elena went to meet their maker.
Yep, they ended up dead.
Right.
They sure did. Oh, God, I had totally forgotten about that. And I'm surprised. Yes, I'm surprised that Putin hasn't gotten to him yet. I'm glad he
Oh,
hasn't,
he's
but I'm
letting him-
surprised.
He's letting
You
him
know-
slide, so this will play out. And
I don't think Putin will have to do anything. I think his own citizenry, the ones who aren't partying in Kiev,
Mm-hmm.
will have to. Those in the Donbass, the Donetsk,
Mm-hmm.
I think you'll see some of them come to Kiev just to get Zelensky out of there, and then say, "Hey, you guys can party if you want, but it's time to pay the piper."
Yeah.
And you know, the thing about this, ever since the Cold War has ended, the Europeans and the neocon warmongers have sought to perpetuate the Cold War still, because that was the way they became interminably wealthy.
yep, you're right.
That was the only way.
And you know who's making
Because-
money now off this war? Anybody who makes
Guaranteed.
a missile or a tank or a plane.
Yeah, the arm
They're making the arms guys are making a killing. So of course they're going to want this to go on and
Yeah,
on
yeah.
and on and on.
Well, it's worthy to remember that people like James Comey were working as top management of Lockheed Martin.
Yeah,
So a lot of these old deep staters, you'll realize that the military industrial complex went to the private sector with them.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is what all the establishment kept talking about: public. They wanted everybody to pay for whatever their ideologies were.
Yeah, and
Now that 77 million Americans are telling them to screw off.
yeah, they're starting
Yeah.
to catch on. Yeah,
Well, you can only pay and worry about the IRS so much. You can only they take a lot of money out of my check and my wife's, and then they come at the end of the year and say, "Well, we need another $8,000." And I'm
I was
looking at
just
what they're
told I
paying.
owed.
You were what?
I was just told I owed, and I'm
Yeah.
like, really?
And then you
I'm
say,
paying for somebody in St. Louis
yes, and oh, really?
living in Section 8 housing.
yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man, it's nuts. There's no. That's why I'm so glad Doge is in existence personally,
Oh, man.
because they're going to get to the bottom. It's going to ruffle a lot of feathers. There's going to be a lot of Democrats screaming and crying. There's going to be
There
some
already are.
Republicans screaming and crying, and they just won't let anybody know, because there's no way all that money, when millions and millions and millions of dollars, they don't even know where it went. It's unaccounted for. It's just gone. There is no way that people aren't lining their pockets over all the stuff that we've been spending.
Exactly.
And
Well,
I
if
do
can't
you
wait
remember-
till Doge finds the financial transactions
they
from
find
the
them,
kickback
I'll
for
bet
all
you they're
these military
burning.
industrial complex things.
Yeah,
Do y'all remember a few
Because
years
once
back?
they find that,
they're going
they'll
down.
find the routing numbers to
Yeah.
the offshore bank accounts.
Yeah, you're right. Do y'all remember a few years ago when somebody, I don't even remember who it was, I was a lot younger then, somebody discovered that
You were young once?
once
Okay.
upon a time,
Didn't know
the White House was spending thousands of dollars on like these gold ashtrays, like I don't
Remember Tammy
exactly.
Faye Baker? Everything in the house was gold, even the plumbing under the sink and toilet.
Well, yeah,
I don't
that
care
was
if
the
it
same
rains
way.
or freezes, as long as I have my plastic Jesus.
I remember the $4,000 toilet seats in
Yeah.
the military.
Yeah.
Oh, $5,000
the-
hammers.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. The $5,000 hammers and all that stuff. It's
They had a
Yeah,
guarantee on them, though. It was for
Be in
five
supply. And look at those
years or
figures.
5 whacks. Whatever comes first. What'd you say, brother?
what'd you say, David?
I said, I don't even remember. Yeah,
Welcome to
be
Two Old
in
Farts.
supply in the military.
You fit right in here, David.
Well, you know, it's old parts, and I do fit in. So yeah, there's that.
Well, it's like I've got all this stuff written down, and I'll read it, and I'm like, why did I write
Yeah,
that
What do I
down?
mean by that?
You know, I can
That's my
remember
name.
seeing figures in supply departments and thinking you can go to Walmart and buy the same thing
Yeah.
in 5 count for 38 cents.
Yeah.
It's no different
What
in
the
any
hell?
field. The medical field's the same way. Rescue operations, the rescue ropes. If you put rescue on anything, like a carabiner, rescue carabiner, it doubles its price. Everything that has a title on it just makes it go up. It seems like it makes it more valuable.
Well, because you got all these preppers and these end of the world people scarfing it up, and I don't know,
Making this supply and demand.
yeah, supply and demand. That's it. That's exactly.
Okay.
So okay,
I need
so
to do that.
let's move along here. We're gonna run out of time before we know it. So who's gonna watch the Oscars tonight? I'm
Not me.
not a big fan of award shows anymore. When they gave Beyonce the country, what was it, country album of the year? Yeah, I kind of lost interest in all the award shows after that.
Did that Super Bowl halftime show?
Yeah,
Um,
that burned me too.
And I'm just not a big fan
You know,
of rap
guys,
music.
one thing that I realize about these award shows, it doesn't matter if it's CMA, VMA, Oscars, Emmys, Tonys, they're all participation trophies for fake people.
Yeah,
That's
exactly right.
everybody gets a trophy.
Yeah, we covered that on our last show, the participation trophies.
Yeah, it's a shame.
Did y'all
That's
hear
the way it
about?
goes.
I know you have Gene Hackman and his wife
And dog.
and dog found dead. They
Did you know he had the most royalties coming from Hollywood?
no, really.
No, I didn't know that.
That was one fact that came out. He was the highest royalty member. Watch Randy Quaid X.
Oh, I heard about Randy Quaid coming out and saying, "Wake up, people! You know this is foul play. You know what happened."
He put a tweet out to Elon, said, "If you need an investigator to go in and find all these people, I'll do it."
Yeah.
Wow.
He could too. He'd be the one to
So-
do it.
Randy Quaid is ready. Yeah, James Woods, another one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
James
And
Woods
Mel
is
Gibson.
Mel
known
Gibson.
for-
Mel
Mel
Gibson's
Gibson's big
after
one,
him
too.
too, and so is Rocky now. I was surprised to see that.
Sylvester.
Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg.
It's about time they stood up for it, because it's gotten to be.
You know
such a
what they
joke.
all have in common? It just hit me.
What's that?
They're
They've
all
played
Christians.
military.
They're all Christians.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
They're not devil
Every one
worshippers.
of them. So, well,
That's
a whole.
good that we see that backbone.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's
about time.
that's where the world meets, right there. The people that believe in God and know the difference between right and wrong, and they want to do, and all they want is self gratification and have it instantly.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Unfortunately, this is what the elites have wanted.
Yeah, it is. James Soros, when I look at his face on news, it just looks evil to me.
Oh yeah.
His face just looks like a demon to me. That's
I'm still wondering if Hillary Clinton is not his offspring. If you put those pictures together, they look like relatives.
and you know that's funny. Yeah. Who's dude, he's stepping down now. He's not going to run again. The glasses. He's always been a rhino. Oh shoot,
Lindsay? McConnell.
Mitch McConnell.
Oh yeah.
And you know the woman in the man that's that thinks he's a woman in the military that's gone now. They had a picture.
Levine?
Yeah. They had a picture of McConnell and her next to each other, and it looked like McConnell with the wig. Go back and look at that. It's hilarious. I cracked up. She does, or he well, whatever. Looks just like McConnell with a wig.
In all fairness, McConnell's not stepping down. He's falling out of office.
Well, that's true. I worry about those guys because they're one step away from the banana peel. Every time he goes on, when I watched him, I was thinking, is he going to have a TIA or a stroke again,
Right.
because he stood up there and looked at the audience, and the people had to come up and walk him off. Now, when you want power that much that you will stay in that long past your prime, and you start having physical disabilities that are obvious to everyone, your family should step you down if you don't want to leave. They should walk you out and help you, because that's not good for you, the country, or anybody.
Yeah. Take the keys away.
Take the keys
Well,
away.
but most of their families have vested in them continuing because
Exactly.
they engaged in nepotism.
Yep.
And you got people like Mitch McConnell. Did you know his wife, the former transportation secretary, Lane Chow,
Mm-hmm.
her family has container ships that are aligned with the Chinese Communist government.
Doesn't surprise me.
That's our
They're-
biggest threat. We're talking about
So,
Russia all the
if
time.
ever you were wondering about Mitch McConnell and his allegiance, money makes him waver quickly, bigly.
Yeah.
And the turtle has now figured out that nobody wants him there.
That's true.
Yeah.
You know, this is just anytime you basically got a brain in a glass jar hooked up to life support making policy, you went beyond the pale of what our founders envisioned. They were young folks after
Yeah.
all when they started this nation.
They died young too.
So, and they dictated through the framing articles, y'all come to work and then you go back home to what you were doing before. That's written in the framing articles for a reason. They did not intend for career lifetime appointments.
No, because then
Because
it's a
that's where you
dictatorship.
get people like the king.
Yep.
The king that we fought had a lifetime appointment
Yes.
until he would have been deposed.
Yep.
But they prefer that. We don't. Because if you have one person in power for too long, you're odd that will only become.
Absolutely. What's next on the agenda, brother?
We got the top 10 things. We're going to do top 10 every week. And so this week is going to be the top 10 things that people waste money on.
Oh,
I am
man.
guilty of a lot of these.
I waste so much money. Oh my God. Rhonda,
David, thanks for
close your
calling
ears,
in,
Rhonda.
buddy.
Are you there? Did he hang up?
I don't know. David, you
Oh,
there?
what? I'm here.
All right, man. We appreciate you calling in.
We're fixing to call
Hey,
him
I'm
tonight.
gonna get off here.
All right, bud. We'll talk to you soon.
Y'all have a good one.
You too,
Thanks
man.
for calling
Yeah,
in,
bye-bye.
brother. Take care.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Deacon's Hank. All right, let's get back to that top 10
All right. the
things
top
you
10
waste your money on.
Top 10 things people waste money on. Number 10, dining out frequently.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
This is home for a lot of people. The average American spends $3,000 a year eating out. That doesn't sound like much.
I spend that on
I was going to say that.
Rhonda and I together,
Yeah.
you
you
talk
and I are the
lunch,
same way.
dinner,
hmm
special nights.
Okay,
Oh.
number 9 on the list, and I'm not so guilty of this because I don't participate in this. Expensive coffee, like the coffee shops.
Well, Rhonda has a certain kind that she likes.
Yeah, I know a lot of people do, and a lot of people depend on it. But since I'm retired, I don't have a set schedule for anything. I brew my own coffee at home, and that's the way I prefer it. I don't getting a $5-6 cup of coffee.
That kind of tastes burnt.
Yeah,
That's why I like those
It really does.
frappuccinos, but they're just as expensive.
I
Caramel.
can't walk into a
Frappuccino.
Starbucks and not smell burned coffee.
Is that right?
That's just the way. I guess my nose is sensitive to it. Something $1,100 a year is what people spend on expensive
On coffee. So we're
Yeah.
already up to $4,100
You're right.
just in food and coffee.
I,
Yeah, I do like
I'm
frappuccino. machine.
have been guilty of this in the past, not so much lately. Unused gym memberships. 67% of gym memberships go unused.
If I bought one, it'd go unused. Just like when you buy one of those jogging machines you put
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah, the treadmill.
Yeah, treadmill. They end up being the clothes rack. That's what they do. I had a bicycle one time that you pedaled indoors and a treadmill.
Yeah.
And all I did was hang clean clothes on them.
That's right. Yeah, they're expensive coat hangers. That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, the number, let's see, 10, 9, 8. Number 7 thing is impulse buying. And I'm horribly guilty of that. And that's why they set all that stuff at the checkout stand. When you're in that little trough going to the checkout stand, they got all these things hanging around you. Those are for impulse buyers like me. Oh, batteries. Yeah, I need batteries.
I might
Oh,
run out of them.
I need a new earbud. Yeah, there's some right there.
And you got 15 pair at home.
Yeah. The average consumer spends $5,400 a year on impulse buying.
Whoa. So we're up to 9,500 a year.
Yep,
just
95,
in,
almost $10,000 a year.
oh my God.
Okay, so the next thing, number 6, is late fees and overdraft charges.
Late fees
Guilty.
and overdraft charges.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Americans
Ugh.
pay, you ain't gonna believe this. Americans pay 15 billion with a B, $15 billion a year in overdraft charges and bounce checks.
Woo!
That's a lot of.
And I bet a lot of them are
money.
the government.
Yep. Yeah.
I bet a lot of them are.
They're responsible for a lot of that. Yeah.
Because if they sent Zelensky too much money from my account, it bounced. It bounced.
That's why he's so mad.
Yeah. That's why you can only afford a sweatsuit to go meet Trump.
The number 5 thing on the list is brand name products. And I'm extremely guilty of this. I don't buy off-brand products. I'll buy Del Monte, the national brand products, Mrs. Baird's bread, things like that.
Trying to avoid recalls.
Yeah. But the thing about it is that all these off brands, these store brands,
They're more than
are
they should
made
be.
by the national brands, just under a different name.
Yeah. It's just like Coke. You know more about that than anybody. Coke has a whole bunch of different products, not just Coke.
Exactly. Okay, so number 4 is it's getting kind of dark in here. Can you
Yes,
turn the
I
light
do
on?
remember when the checks that bounced sent you to jail.
Oh yeah, resulted in
sure
legal
do.
action. Sure do.
They would get you.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
You bet.
Okay, so the number 4 thing is unused subscription services. Americans on average spend $350 a year on unused or rarely used subscriptions.
Well, they got you because they have it where you don't see it pop up, but yet it renews every month or every 2 weeks or every week consistently.
Most of them will say, all right, if you sign up for this automatic draft, we'll knock 10% off of it.
And how many of you have been stuck in something that you thought, well, I'll try this on a trial basis, see if I like it, but then the free trial period's up and you haven't canceled your subscription.
And the thing, a lot of them will sign you up saying first 2 weeks, but in the small print, they say if you don't cancel after that 2 weeks, we will continue to renew your subscription, and you're not going to know about it. We're going to get your money. So yeah, $350 a year. They've got apps now like Rocket. You can sign up for these apps, and they'll go through and you can check every subscription that you're signed up for, and they'll even help you delete them and possibly get you some money back on them.
That'd be nice.
But it costs you money to do that too. So
true story.
Okay, number 3 is trendy clothing.
Well,
I'm not guilty of that.
No, I spent a lot of money on t-shirts and blue jeans, maybe, but
Me
not
too.
that much.
Yeah, t-shirts are my downfall. Julie will tell you. I'm a t-shirt freak. Average Americans throw or give away 81 pounds of clothes a year.
Wow.
Just give it away.
I might just start wearing sweatpants. Sweatpants and t-shirts. Sweatpants are the fat man's way to say I
I
give.
guarantee you,
I give up.
If I didn't have to go anywhere, I'd be in sweats all 24/7.
Oh yeah.
Number 2 is frequent technology upgrades. 44% of smartphone users upgrade to a new device while their old devices are still working perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Because they get you. You walk in the door,
Latest
at Verizon,
technology.
and they're like, "We got a new phone coming out. You don't need it, but here's a new phone. It's got 500 more gigabytes or whatever, you know."
My wife upgraded her phone, and when she took pictures, she went back to my phone that was 3 or 4 years older and said, I want you to take the pictures on your iPhone. It takes better pictures. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever I'm with Tristan and we see something we want to take a picture of, he's like, "Dad, put your phone away. Let me take it with mine." He has an iPhone.
Not to mention hunting and fishing hobbies. Oh my gosh.
Oh, Lord.
Whoa.
Yeah, we won't even get into that.
No.
Okay, so that was number 2. Number 1 thing that people waste money on is buying bottled water. And this seems low to me. It says average Americans spend $100 a year on bottled water. To me, that's way low. I'll spend $100 in less than 2 months on bottled water because we buy a case at a time.
We spend money, but we get those big jugs and keep them in the house in one of those dispensers, and it dispenses. But you know, our ancestors would be so mad because they carried water in buckets to their home, sometimes a half a mile, just to get water, and they cherish their water. They would use it until they couldn't use it anymore before they'd throw it out. And then pipes delivered it to the house, and they could sit back and turn on the faucet if they were still alive and enjoy the water coming to them. Now, what are we doing? We're getting our buckets and we're going back out to haul water home. It's like we're going backwards. Good grief.
Oh, man. Yeah. We'll buy just about every time we're at the store, I'll buy a little half case of water.
Yeah.
And I mean, it adds up.
It sure does.
And especially if you stop at a convenience store or something, you're paying $3, $4, $5 for a bottle of water.
It's crazy.
It's nuts.
Nuts balls.
David said, "I'm not drinking faucet water until they take the fluoride out of it."
Yep.
Are they still doing that? Because I remember years ago they promoted it, fluoride in water.
Oh, our wives are fixing to start a channel.
Our fans. That's go. Hold on. Well, don't just not jump ahead.
Oh, is that a hit?
Okay, so that's it for the top 10. So every week, as some of y'all may know, we will honor a channel of the week. And that's what Tom is alluding to. Our wives. Go ahead, finish your thought.
No, that's it. They're going to start a channel. I don't know exactly what day it's going to start, but be watching for it. It's Sister Bitch Barn. That's the name of the channel. And it's all the things that women get frustrated with, and they don't have an outlet to spill it. Well, this will be their outlet to spill it.
Right.
I dare you guys to call in with something. I think what you ought to do is just listen, and maybe you'll learn why they've got that grumpy look on their face. And then maybe you can fix it before it happens.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be something.
They've got
I'm looking
T-shirts.
forward to that.
They're going to have T-shirts.
Yeah,
they're going to
their
have
own logo,
and they're going to have call-ins. They're going to have a lot of things. So it'll be fun.
so
to
y'all be
watch
looking
that.
for it. It's called Sisters Bitch Barn.
That's right. All right. Well, Randy, the sisters in our barn are not bitching, but they're cooking. And I bet the food is bitching.
Our dinner's ready.
Our
Oh, wait, one
dinner's
more
ready.
thing before we go.
Okay.
Well, two more things, actually.
Oh,
If you guys have a top 10 list that you want to hear us put together, let us know. Let us know in the comments or email us, or, get a hold of us somehow and let us know what top 10 list you want us to do.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I'll,
that'd be fun.
I'll research it and we'll do it. The other thing is, if I want to have a section on the show that's all about smoking tips, smoking and grilling tips. So if anybody has a new way that they're trying, or a new recipe that they're trying on a smoker or grill or something, call in and let us know about it, or put it in the comments.
Especially if it's a wild game recipe.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I will tell you this, Tristan, we started to get into this last time. He had a phenomenal season this year. And so he's got his 3 bucks that he got from 3 different counties. His daughter Presley got her first buck this year.
She's so cute.
Have got a freezer full of deer meat, and luckily all 3 of them, him, Nina, and Presley, all love deer meat. If you turned Presley loose with a bag of jerky, she'd have it gone in a day. I promise you. She loves that stuff. But anyway, I digress. If you have any recipes or tips or tricks or anything like that that you want to share with us on this channel, please. Julie said dinner's not ready. Keep talking. Anyway, if you guys got any tips or tricks or new recipes that you want to share with us, please feel free to share it. Come on here and let us know about it, because I'm a huge grill fan, smoker fan. And so, yeah, there's that.
Has anybody heard anything about that Caitlin, the basketball player used to be with the NBA, WNBA?
The one that
Caitlin Clark, I believe is her name.
the one that was in prison?
No,
that's not her.
that was that tall female that was married to another female.
Oh yeah,
yeah. She got caught over there with CBD or something.
Yeah.
But this one was the one that was tearing up the basketball court. She had a lot of superstars that were cheering her on, and the girls just treated her terrible. They were knocking her down, poking her in the eye.
Huh.
I mean, she sucked it up. I mean, she was a true champion. She just came back every time and beat them worse. It was funny. Be thinking about that one. If you have any Caitlin Clark stories or any opinions on Caitlin Clark, let me know.
I haven't seen it or checked on it today, but NASCAR is today's race is at Echo Park, is the Echo Park Automotive Grand Prix. So I'll go in and check on that and see what's going on with it. We hadn't talked anything about NASCAR.
Oh, that's right.
But
we mentioned it in our
in the
recording
premiere, but haven't talked about it today. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with it, who's winning or anything. I think it's going on right now.
Good deal.
But yeah, that's all I got. So
that's all I got. I got a hunger.
Yeah, me too. Let's go in and push them along.
You guys give us any comments that you want or ideas for shows that are coming up in the future that you would like to see. Isn't she the one standing up against boys in girl sports? Well, she doesn't really stand up against it, but she doesn't like it, I don't think. She hasn't come out and made a big stance about it yet. That's was the swimmer.
Lake and Riley.
Lake and Riley.
Yeah.
But Caitlin Clark is the one that she just plays basketball like a superstar, and she was elevating the league over here in audience. The audience just tripled. I mean, the stands were full, and WNBA games haven't really appreciated that. And then she was treated like crap by not only players, but some coaches. So she went to the European League, I heard, and she got a big contract with them, a lot more than she would have made in the United States. So I'm going to have to go back and research and see how that ended up. But a lot of Steph Curry and a lot of our basketball players over here, even LeBron, they were saying they need to leave her alone because she's bringing money to the NBA.
Yep.
She is bringing notoriety and a big audience and fan base because she's a white girl who can play basketball like nobody's business. The WNBA needs her more than she needs them.
Right.
But people are jealous. They have their little I want to be a superstar, and they don't look at the overall picture of, hey, how's this going to benefit everybody?
Yeah.
It's all about me and my needs.
Man, I tell you, things have changed, and
They
that's our perspective from two old farts.
And we enjoyed sharing it. And hopefully you guys will call in on the next show and share your perspective. And we'll be glad to take the call and the comments.
Yeah.
In the comments.
If
section.
there's anything you guys want to see us talk about or want to hear us talk about, let us know. And
That's right.
We'll research the subject and we'll give it a shot. I mean, we're not opposed to anything, and we're not going to hold back on anything. So
You might even see us live at a sports event someday doing a live from it. You just never know. Or fishing or hunting, doing a live from there.
that's right. David said old farts have common sense.
That's right.
You dang Skippy.
We only have 1 cent, but it's all in common. Oh, man. It's been a blast. I have had a blast.
Had a been a pleasure doing it, and we hope you guys enjoy it, and let us know if there's anything you want to see.
Yeah.
So,
And we'll be back next week. The only time we won't be here on a Sunday, we might have to change the day, is if my work schedule turns out where they say, no, you've got to work this Sunday and you'll be there until 7 at night. And that's the only way to change. And that could happen. But if it does, we'll give you a heads up and we'll change the date. We won't let it go without something.
yeah, Tom's really good about on his on the channel At Home with Tom and Rhonda about letting everybody know when the podcast is going to be, what time, and everything. So you guys just stay informed.
That's right. And stay tuned.
Stay
We'll
tuned.
be back next week. Be watching for Sisters Bitch Barn, Vintage Vantage Points, and At Home with Tom and Rhonda, and Heard that exclamation point, and Heard That Outdoors.
That's right.
We got it going on for you.
Yep.
Stick around. We love you guys. See you
Y'all
next
have a
time.
great week.
Peace out.